Hey there, it is Lesley Perreault with Wichita Area Real Estate Experts and eXp Realty. And today's video is going to be about right sizing. So a lot of people refer to this as downsizing, but sometimes it's a matter of whether the house is the right fit. Maybe it has too many stairs. Maybe you need some wider doorways, things like that. It's not necessarily reducing the size of your house, but making sure that it's the right house to live in for the rest of the time that you can live independently. So during our event last week at the office, we had Michael Gonzalez, who's a local mortgage broker, that was in, and he was discussing reverse mortgages, and they're for purchase. It's a really unique product that I think is very smart for a lot of different reasons, and I'm happy to answer any questions about those or give you Michael's number if you have questions. We had another lender here that was talking about bridge loans. We had Russell with Upscale Estate Sales discussing what happens with estate sales. And right now he's actually out on an appointment from that, discussing consigning items because there's not enough for a full estate sale. So I'm just going to discuss my quick portion of that night's events. And it was basically 10 tips on how to downsize what you're going to be moving. So the first tip is start preparing early. I mean, you might be thinking that your move is 2 or 3 years into the future, but now is really the time to start going through and thinning everything out. So even like 6 to 12 months, it'll happen before you know it. You and I both know that. So start getting some things prepared and making a mental list of the items that you definitely have to keep. The next tip is when you start going through a room, you're going to use a sorting process, and you're going to make 3 different piles. So you're going to have a keep pile, you're going to have a toss pile, and you're going to have a donate pile. So what you want to try to do is avoid the dreaded maybe pile, because then you just keep going through it over and over again, trying to decide if you're going to keep it, trying to decide if you're going to toss it or donate it. So try to make decisions as you're going through your items. The next tip is start with a small room and start with something that you're not really emotionally attached to. So maybe start in your laundry room or start in a storage room or a spare bedroom or something like that. And those small successes as you are weeding things out and you're sorting them into your piles, that's what you're going to build on when you start getting into things that are more emotionally charged. You know, if your spouse has passed away and you're having to go through their items, or the kids have moved out and you're going through the sentimental school stuff. So start getting some small wins and build up to those rooms that are going to be a little bit harder for you to sort through. The next thing is eliminate the rooms that you know you're not going to have. So one of the reasons that we structured things the way that we did in our right sizing event is we were trying to give you different loan options or different purchase options so that you could make that purchase now, and you're going to have extra time to move your stuff into that property, or you're going to know, I don't need a formal dining room where I'm going. So this is some things that I can start clearing out. I don't need the china. I don't need these things at the next property. So making sure that you're getting rid of the rooms that you're not going to need. If you're going to go into a 2-bedroom and you have 3-bedroom sets of furniture, those types of things. And don't forget, storage is always an option with this. It's not like you have to make every decision right this second and there's no way to go back on it. The next tip that we have is purging duplicates. So if you know you have 2 crock pots and you are moving into a smaller place, maybe you don't need 2 crock pots. You can give one away, whether that's donating it or giving it to a family member, or maybe having a garage sale or putting it on Facebook Marketplace. But things that you know you have a lot of, maybe it's towels or sheet sets or things like that, just start going through those things that you have a lot of duplicates of. The next tip is reducing collections. So my grandmother was at the event on Wednesday night, and she is a collector of a lot of different things. And one of the things that she really loves is like all of these like Russian eggs. So she started collecting them, I don't know, 20 or 30 years ago, and she has several of them. And so the thought process behind this is pick maybe one or two that you can display in one area if you're not going to have the room to do your whole display. So, or pick one collection that means something to you and it's stronger than the meaning of other collections that you have. You might not have room in the place that you're moving to display every single collection that you have. Another tip on this for helping you reduce some size, if you have a lot of paper photos, have somebody scan those or take them in some place that can scan them for you and make digital files. And that way you still have all of the photos that you love, but you don't have like books upon books of all of the photos that are taking up a lot of space. So another thing is handing down family heirlooms or something that's super important to you. So a lot of people, this doesn't happen until after you pass. But the nice thing about going through it now is one, you get to pick who it goes to, but two, you get to see them enjoy it while you're still around. So it's just something that is going to give some meaning behind it when you're actually giving it to somebody, and it's going to be one thing less that you have to move when you're moving into your next home. Another thing that you have to consider, this is going to be an emotional time. You're going to be sorting through a lifetime of things that you've accumulated and that have memories attached to them. And this is going to be a time that you're going to go through and you're going to do a lot of reminiscing. And you have to understand that it's okay to cry. It's okay to grieve and remember and pause and live in that moment for a little while. And then you box it up and take it to the next place, or you box it up and you put it in storage someplace, or you share that memory with another family member for them to display at their house. And the last tip that we can tell you is help isn't an ugly word. Like, I have really enjoyed the amount of time that I have been able to spend with my grandmother and going through the items with her and hearing the stories of some of the things that we've come across. So reach out to your family members. They're going to be happy to help you. And if you don't have family members that are local or that can help, then get with us. We do have people that can help pack, they can help move, any of those type of recommendations that you're looking for, please reach out to us and we're happy to give recommendations here in the Wichita area. So I hope these tips helped you in getting a game plan together for moving and right sizing into your next property. Thanks for watching our video, and we'll see you soon.